Good evening, greetings and salutations. This is Passionate Bliss, and I want to tell you about my walk through the YouTube streets tonight. Okay, I was walking through the YouTube streets and I saw my neighbors outside doing all sorts of things, but I saw one particular neighbor who was doing something that was just about the most outrageous thing that I'd ever heard of. I decided to walk on past and not say anything, but so many of my other neighbors had so much to say and actually took issue with me on my opinion that I decided I would go ahead and speak about it. On my walk through the YouTube streets tonight, I saw on her front porch the young lady that's being referred to as the Gorilla Glue Girl. Okay? And this is what she did.
No, my hair has been like this for about a month now. It's not by choice. No, it's not by choice. When I do my hair, I like to, finish it off with a little Got to Be glue spray. Just to keep it in place. Well, I didn't have any more Got to Be glue spray, so I used this. Gorilla Glue Spray. Bad idea. Yo, look, my hair, it don't move. You hear what I'm telling you? It don't move. I've washed my hair 15 times. And it don't move. Stiff wear. Woo. My hair. So I'm going to tell y'all like this. If you ever run out of Got to Be glue spray, don't ever use this unless you want your hair to be like that. Watch. Look, y'all, look, you wipe it off and nothing happens. Like, this is the life that I'm living at this point. Like, this is the life that I guess I'm gonna have to live. Yeah. Look. So I'm trying to just wipe it a little bit and then put this on there so it don't burn as much. But I'm getting to like her scalp part where she got this part at. So that might burn, but I'm just letting you know. That's where I'm going next. Alright, here we go. 1, 2. Good. Put the water. Try to put the water. Oh. Miss.
Okay, and since she did that, this young lady has had people to come in and say that they are going to debunk what she said. In my assessment, there's nothing to debunk, okay? The 2 videos that I'm going to discuss tonight are 2 YouTubers, fairly new YouTubers, who decided to go ahead and perform a demonstration that was going to prove that what she was saying wasn't true, that she in fact did not use Gorilla Glue on her hair, that she was in fact scamming the public, and that she had used apparently something else on her hair. So that's what they were going to debunk. That was their hypothesis, okay? I feel like there's nothing to debunk because she never said that she only used Gorilla Glue on her hair. She flat out stated, I used Got to Be glue, I ran out of Got to Be glue, and then I topped it off with the Gorilla Glue. But she stated prior to that, as you just saw, I finished it up with Got to Be glue and Gorilla Glue, implying that she had used other products before that. So in my opinion, there was never anything to debunk. She didn't say she only used Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue did all of this. She never said that. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at their attempts to debunk something that didn't need debunking. Okay, video number 1. This video was by a young lady named December Reed. Okay, she decided she was going to put on display for all of you a demonstration of what she believes Gorilla Glue Girl did to her hair. Okay, so I have notes, y'all, so bear with me. So December Reed starts out with her hair like this. One half was cornrowed, one half is in a ponytail. On the edges of the cornrowed side, she sprayed Gorilla Glue. And then she combed it down. These edges already look very sad, but she laid them down with Gorilla Glue. Now, when she did that, it did not foam up and it did not turn white. So when she realized that, she went back and picked at it until it did turn white on the end. But the part that she worked into her scalp, it never did turn white, okay? Then she goes to the other side and she puts the Got to Be glue on first. She puts it on top of this ponytail that she has. Then she sprays Gorilla Glue on it. You can see here where she made no real attempt to smooth in the Gorilla Glue. She had already learned from the other side that if she did smooth it in, it would lay down and it would be black and it wouldn't foam up. So in order to prevent that, she went ahead and she went ahead and she stuck a finger in it, made no real effort for several minutes to smooth it in. She gave it enough time to harden a little bit, and then she goes to pretend as if she's kind of smooth it in, and as you can see, it never really did smooth in. It foamed up and it stayed white like it was. So in my opinion, that was something deliberate to get the desired outcome. So there's clearly no use of the scientific process there when performing an experiment, which is what this actually is, okay? Then she goes ahead and she takes this adhesive and she pours it on the side of her head with one layer of Got to Be glue and 2 layers of the Gorilla Glue. So at this point, she's got 1 layer of Got to Be glue on and 3 layers of Gorilla Glue on her hair, okay? She then takes this formula called Goof Off. She uses this to wipe off the side with the cornrow that she only has the Gorilla Glue on. She sprayed a little, she puts a little on there, and then she loosens it up with the comb, and as it should, it comes out. Then she puts a solution of vinegar, lime, Ajax dishwashing liquid on her hair to wash it. She foams it up, okay? She wipes it off with a cloth, and it goes back. She proclaims that it's now removed from her hair. Maybe it is. I don't know. Now, if you will recall, the hospital gave Gorilla Glue Girl some of this goof off to use when she went home as well. In addition, the hospital had used adhesive remover, and they had had some success with that in pulling up the edges and some of the top, as you can see in the hospital photo with the nurse standing there, okay? Then Miss December Reed, she goes to the other side that has the 3 layers of Gorilla Glue and 1 layer of Got to Be glue, and she applies the goof off to there, and she picks the hair loose from the ends that don't have any product on it and works it back through to the roots, okay? Gorilla Glue Girl could not do that because her entire head was packed tight with the products that she put on it, the unknown products that she put on it, because she never told us what she put on her hair exactly, okay? There was no starting point for Gorilla Glue Girl. She couldn't even get the ponytail off of her head. None of her hair was exposed to do this method that December Reed displayed. So that isn't even something that was possible for Gorilla Glue Girl to do. You can't debunk with something that's impossible for the original person to do. All right. Then she goes ahead and she washes it out with this vinegar and lime Ajax dishwashing liquid. She washes it in a backwards pattern. Okay. Most people do wash. I'm going to stop. Most black people do wash their hair in a backward pattern. Look at us in the sink getting our hair washed. Okay. This is actually December Reed. washing her hair backwards in the same manner. So why December Reed and the other YouTuber would question the direction of her hair has changed? That's because in the ER, they attempted to remove it in a backwards pattern. Okay, when she went home, the person that did her hair, I believe it was her sister, she tried to remove it in a backwards pattern. You just saw that on a video. So the edges that came loose and the parts that were connected to the edges, those all came loose in a backwards pattern because that's the method in which it was loosened. However, that was not a change in the pattern. The most of her hair was always going in a backwards pattern. Only the edges and some of the front was going to the side. Okay. She then comes back. Okay, she says that she's wiped it out. Then she comes back the next day. She says that she has washed it out. And this is the image that she presents to us. This is her hair that's washed out. Okay, and this is her separating the hairs and showing us how there's no glue in it. However, if you are experienced with black hair, you will see, if you look at her video, that she has a little difficulty separating that hair. She still has glue in that hair. She makes a big show of combing all the way through the hair from the roots to the end on her initial video. But on the second video, she didn't put a comb anywhere near her hair because that glue was actually still in there and it was stiff as a result. Okay. Now, she did not use the scientific method. What is the scientific method? This is the scientific method.
The scientific method is a method of procedure that has characterized natural science since the 17th century, consisting in systematic observation, measurement, and experiment, and the formulation, testing, and modification of a hypothesis or an idea. The 7 steps of the scientific method are: number 1, a question. You are questioning whether or not Gorilla Glue Girl actually did use Gorilla Glue in her hairstyle. You think she didn't. Research, that would include researching what she did in her hair and what she put in her hair and how she fixed her hair. That wasn't done. 3, hypothesis. You had the hypothesis that you were going to be able to show that she couldn't have done this because you're going to remove it yourself and show that she could remove it. You did the experiment without knowing what she put in her hair or how she put it in her hair. You performed an experiment that you thought might be close. Number 5, observation. You looked at your results and figured, I have different results than she did, assuming that you had done what she did, when actually you didn't. Number 6, you came to a conclusion that was faulty because the process was faulty. And then number 7, you shared your results as if you had actually replicated what she did, and she didn't. So let's see, you missed out on step number 2. You didn't research to find out what she put in her hair. You missed out on step number 4. You couldn't perform a proper experiment because you didn't know what she had used in her experiment. Number 5, you made observations. You came to a conclusion, and then you communicated those. So, what is it? Let's see, that is, you got number 2 wrong, you got number 4 wrong. And those are the crux of the whole thing.
Okay, so it was not possible for December Reed to actually do a proper experiment and say, I got different results, because you would have to have performed the exact same experiment that she did. You could never have performed the exact same experiment because she never told us exactly what she put on her hair. She only told one person that we know of what exactly was in her hair, and that is the physician who successfully treated her condition. Okay? As a science project, I'm going to give this project an F because she did not prove her hypothesis, because she did not duplicate the exact prior circumstances. I was going to give her an A for effort until at the end of the video, her commentary entered into slanderous territory. She stated that the money that was given to this young lady in the GoFundMe to assist her with her hair repair, her hair care, and her future hairstyling, she stated that that money should have went to a worthier cause because this woman was 40 years old and that she probably was going to spend the money on weed, roll up some joints or blunts, and give them to her unemployed boyfriend. Do you know this lady, December Reed? Okay, because if you don't know this lady, you're like totally slandering her. Okay. Although you did say probably, which is good. But you entered into slanderous territory. So I'm going to have to give you a D on that. I'm giving you a D because you had knowledge of black hair. You had knowledge of black hair care products. And you had knowledge of how black hair reacts to those products. Okay, so I'm giving you a D and not 2 Fs. So, okay, work on it next time. You do an experiment, try to do a little bit better. Okay, the next YouTuber that I'm going to examine, that one was Dark Nook. He attempted to falsely say he had debunked what the young lady said with this experiment. He did even less than December Reed did. He took this piece of hair, I'm going to assume it's human hair. He laid it on the top of his hand and he sprayed several layers of Gorilla Glue on his hand. Okay. Then he put some heat on it for a few seconds and he then came back and he used this product. Okay, this product is called Goof Off. Okay, he used that product to loosen the adhesive and says, I have debunked it. Okay. Dark Nook, first of all, you are out of your lane on 2 fronts. Okay. Number 1, you are a man. As a man, you have no idea what all goes into obtaining a hairstyle for a woman. As a man, you have no idea the lengths that a woman is willing to go to make sure that her hair looks exactly the way she wants it to look, to make sure that she feels desirable, she feels pretty, she feels attractive, she feels presentable. You have no idea what that's about, and you're out of your lane, okay? Number 2, you're out of your lane as a white person. By your own admission, you have no idea what black hair is like. You have no knowledge of black hair care products. You have no knowledge of black hairstyles. So you are completely out of your depth on 2 fronts. You had no business conducting any experiments on this at all. And I'm going to have to white-splain it to you. First of all, Dark Nook, I'm going to have to let you know how this hairstyle is actually achieved. Okay? First, the young lady has to separate the hair. You can see her taking out the front part of her hair to form the area that's going to swoop. This hairstyle is called a swoop ponytail with a part. Okay, so she's got the part, she's got the front of it, and it's going to swoop, and she's got the ponytail. Okay, and then she puts the front part in a rubber band because the ponytail gets taken care of first. The majority of her hair is going backwards. And the swoop eventually is also going to join up and go backwards. Only the top and in Gorilla Glue Girl's case, she pulled down some on the sides. Only the top and the sides are not going to be in the ponytail. And it's a small part of the top, as you can see. Okay, so for this ponytail, she takes product number 1. I don't know what it is. I can't read that item. I'm going to assume it's some kind of gel. She puts it on both sides of her hair. She brushes her hair. Okay. Then she puts product number 2 on her hair, which is, amazingly, got to be glue. She sprays it on her hair, all the edges. She brushes it back. Okay. Then she gets a hair dryer and she dries it long enough for the amount of product that she put on to be dry. Okay. Then she puts the ponytail down and she starts to address the swoop. She takes the swoop, does pretty much the same thing, takes product number 1, she pulls it around to the side. Okay, she puts product number 1 on it, which is, I guess, the gel. Then she brushes it. She puts product number 2 on it, which is the got to be glue. She brushes it, and then she makes sure that it stays in place. Probably, and I think she sprayed something else on it. I don't know what it was that she sprayed on. I'm thinking it was oil, but I don't know. Again, I can admit I don't know because she didn't tell me. Gorilla Glue Girl didn't tell you what she put on her hair either. You couldn't have performed an appropriate study because you never had the initial data that you needed. And what you did was even less than what December Reed did. At least she put other products in the hair. At least she actually had black hair that she was using. And you could expect some kind of similar response, even though it couldn't have been accurate because she didn't have the initial data. Okay? So, as far as what was on her hair, we can only guess what was on her hair. Only one person knows for sure, that's her doctor. This is me with a soft ponytail that I put in myself. Let me tell you what's in that soft ponytail. And I'm going to speculate, because that's all I can do, that this probably is what she put in her hair or something very similar. In this soft ponytail, I have styling gel, I have mousse, and I put it spritz on the end of it. And this is a soft ponytail. Now, for the black people present, what does gel do to black hair? Makes it hard. What does mousse do to black hair? Makes it hard. What does spritz do to black hair? Makes it hard. Okay, so that's what goes into my soft ponytail. And if I was to follow Gorilla Glue Girl steps, in addition, she said I put my ponytail together and then I finished it off with Gorilla Glue. So in addition to those 3 hardening agents, if I was following her, I would have put Gorilla Glue on it. Then I would have also put, I would have put the Got to Be glue on it. And then when I ran out, I would have put on top of that agent Gorilla Glue. That would have put 5 possible agents all hardening her hair on that one hairstyle. And then she sits under a hair dryer. When black people's hair air dries, it starts to wave because our hair is naturally kinky. This is December Reed's hair waving up with the product on it. This is 2 different women and this one little peanut here with her hair waving up because it was air dried. These are photos that I Googled of women who had air dried their hair, okay? That's what our hair looks like when it air dries. Because Gorilla Glue Girls was so slick like this, it couldn't have air dried. She would had to have put it under heat. So in possibly addition to 5 hardening substances, she put heat on it. Now, when I go into my hairdresser and I get a hard ponytail, I have to sit under the hair dryer for at least 30 to 45 minutes. Longer if your hair is thick. And my hair at that time was thick and long. And so I was often under there anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour under heat. Okay? Neither one of you put that kind of heat on. December Reed didn't put heat on the hair at all. And Dark Nook, he put heat on it for a few seconds. It was a blow dryer. Most likely she had an overhead dryer because her entire head was hard as a brick. Okay? So these 2 attempts to debunk this video, are worthless. The only thing that they actually proved was that they weren't qualified to conduct any experiments. The only person who was qualified was the physician, and he was in fact successful. Now, a couple of things bothered me about this whole scenario. Those of you who had complaints about what had happened, the scenario, I've never at any time argued the stupidity of what she did. Okay. However, I have seen some of you say that you had no sympathy for her. She did it to herself. She's 40 years old. Okay. That should not stop you from having sympathy. I saw a human being in mental anguish at what she had done at her hair. I saw a human being in physical pain when she tried to undo what was done to her hair. I have sympathy for that. Okay. I have sympathy for the remorse that she expressed because I understand the mentality behind what she did. Women will go through, black women will go through and will endure a lot to achieve the look that they want. I personally have sat in a chair with my hair on fire with a permanent that I should be removing, but I wasn't because I wanted my roots to lay down flat. Okay. I personally have sat in a chair and was tortured by an African hair braider who had me looking like I had a facelift when she got done. My hair was in so much pain because those braids were so tight that no hair could escape. So I didn't have any fuzzy edges. Okay. It was so tight that I was in too much pain to sleep on it. I had some Percocet from an old order. I took a narcotic to be able to go to sleep with those braids so tight in my hair because I wanted to look a certain way. Okay, we will go through a lot to look the way we want to look. And that's something that a man has no concept of. They just know that we look good when we come home. Your hair looks nice, you know, or they know how much we ask to get it done. Because a lot of these hairdos are expensive, which is why Gorilla Glue was doing it herself, I'm sure. And so I understand the mentality behind it. We have received pressure from society as Black women to look a certain way, to meet a standard that does not belong to our culture. We put pressure on each other even to lay that kitchen down. Now, Dark Nook, you're not going to understand these terms. These are African-American terms, okay? We pressure one another to, girl, you need to lay that kitchen down. Or, what's going on with those edges? You need to perm those edges, you know? We put pressure on each other to have our hair looking in a way that is not consistent with our culture. This hairstyle that Gorilla Glue girl had, that is not consistent with her whole culture. My hair is natural now. And I will tell you this, when I went natural, I didn't go out. Well, the reason I went natural was because Corona prevented me from going to my hairdresser. And my hair was it was going longer and longer, month after month. And I said, okay, I'm going to have to try this natural hair thing. So I took it out. And when I saw myself, I didn't think I looked cute anymore. And I've always thought I was cute. Everybody should think they're cute. Okay. And who all don't think you cute? Damn them. Okay. So everybody should think they're cute. But I've always thought to myself, I'm only as cute as my hair looks. If my hair is cute, I'm cute. If my hair is not cute, I'm not cute. And I was very particular. As soon as I was able to manage my own hair care and pay for it myself, I was very particular about how my hair looked. At one point, I wasn't even washing my own hair. I was going to the hairdresser every week to get my hair washed and styled by somebody else. Okay. And I got lots of compliments. My hair was really long and it was thick. It was beautiful. Okay. And so it was swinging and flowing in the breeze and all that, because it was that important to me that my hair looked just right. It had to look perfect. I've never gone out of my house if my hair wasn't looking just right. Only time I ever went out of my house that my hair wasn't looking just right was when I was going from my home to the hairdresser. And please believe I had on a hat or a scarf. Nobody ever saw my hair looking like that. So I understand the mentality, this psychological aspect of what she was dealing with, how important it is, because I've looked through her profile. Okay, her hair is always laid. Another term you don't understand, Dark Nook. Her hair was always laid. She's very particular about how her hair looks. Not a hair out of place in those pictures. Okay, and that was the same thing that she wanted when she did this. She grabbed some adhesive. I'm not making any excuses for the stupidity of that. I don't know if she thought, well, I'm not gonna put that much on. It'll wash right out. And I'm assuming that the reason she's blaming the Gorilla Glue for the state of her hair is because she's done this routine before with a ponytail. I've had several ponytails in, as you could see. But I'm assuming that, and I'm assuming because that's all I can do, she didn't tell me. So I'm assuming that she had done this same process before and had no issues with her ponytail, no issues with getting it out, with the exception of this time because she grabbed Gorilla Glue. So I'm assuming that's why she's blaming the Gorilla Glue for the status of her hair. However, Gorilla Glue girl, I'm here to tell you, if you are planning on filing a lawsuit, you will lose. Because even though that can may not have said, do not put it on your hair, I'm darn near positive, and I didn't read the can. So I'm saying darn near positive that it said, do not mix with other chemicals. That's pretty much standard for all chemicals. Do not mix with other chemicals. So most likely you're going to lose if you do try to sue over this. I feel like a lot of people who are not sympathetic because there's low-key some jealousy about the money that she's gotten. Okay. Last time I checked, her pot on GoFundMe was up to $18,000. She originally asked for $1,500, enough to get wigs, to get her hair, out of the state it was in, buy what product she needed. She originally asked for $1,500, but so many people had compassion for her that it's currently up to $17,000 last time I looked. And I haven't looked in a day. So, you're looking at this money. I think you're low-key jealous because you work hard for your money every day just like I do. However, I would like you to consider this. First of all, okay, she spent all this money on products. She's tried different things that people suggested online to get it out. Nothing worked, okay? And then She went to the ER. An ER visit is an easy $9,000. Okay. Now, last time I went through to the ER, my son went to the ER. It was $9,000. My insurance covered everything except $1,500. Okay. So out of pocket, I paid $1,500. I don't know if Gorilla Glue Girl has insurance or not. If she doesn't have insurance, she's going to pay an easy $9,000 to $10,000. So that's going to suck up that GoFundMe. Okay. Then the physician that took it out of her hair in 4 hours instead of 20, like the ER said, he did it for free. However, the facility that she went to have it performed at, they weren't free. She's going to be charged for the use of those nurses and those techs that were in there circling around her, fixing her hair, helping him out. She has to pay for them. She's going to have to pay for the use of that room she was in and any of the equipment and products that they used in there. She's going to get a bill from that site. It won't be from him, but it'll be from that site. And we don't know how much that is. Let's assume it's another $10,000. She's already exceeded the GoFundMe, you know. And then there's aftercare. She's going to have to care for her scalp afterwards. Hopefully it's not permanently damaged. Then she's going to have to get, treatments periodically. In the meantime, she's going to have to get wigs. And a decent wig is going to be $200, a human hair wig. And that's on the low end. Some of them are higher than that. Okay. So enough wigs for her to be versatile in the way she looks, which Black women do like, and I see on her profile she does too. In order for her to be versatile, she's going to be spending at least a good, $2,000 on wigs. I think some of you are jealous for the fact that Beyonce's stylist supposedly reached out to her. I understand that Portia from the Housewives of Atlanta reached out to her and offered her some, various incentives, maybe wear some of her products, I also understand that Chance the Rapper reached out to her and expressed his sympathy to her suffering as well. Some of you are maybe jealous. You feel like she got to come up, you feel like she got a get rich quick scheme. And I think that you're not, you're letting your emotions override your logic. Okay. And what we've seen tonight has not debunked anything. It was some people getting clicks and views. They didn't duplicate what she did. They couldn't have. Nobody could except the one person who went in and said, what exactly is in your hair? Okay. And last and least, my opinions about the YouTuber Dark Nook. Aside from his white privilege that led him to believe that he could come on over into the Black arena of hair care and tell us what will and will not happen with our hair when he has, number one, no knowledge of Black hair, no knowledge of Black hair care products, no knowledge of how Black hairstyles are even created. He did not debunk Gorilla Glue Girl. He only debunked himself. He debunked any notion that you may have had that he was at all knowledgeable on this subject. He debunked any notion that you may have had that he was actually a credible source of information. He debunked any notion that you may have had that he could be a credible source in the future. So the next time, Dark Nook, stay in your white man lane, mind your white man business, and stay out of ours. And with that being said, y'all have sweet dreams. Wait to find them all real.